Hi all, I'm Dan Smigrod, founder of the We Get Around Network Forum. Today is Thursday, February 8th, 2018, and you're watching WGAN-TV live at 5. Our guest in the studio today is Mike. Hey, Mike.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good to see you, Mike. We have RELA CEO Mike Land coming to us from the West Coast of the United States. I'm in Atlanta, and Mike is he has a great solution to talk to us about today. The RELA platform, single property websites on steroids. Mike, why don't you give us an overview and then take us into maybe demoing it for us?
Yeah, so our platform, and I'm going to share my screen here, makes it super simple for you to create beautiful single property websites for your agent customers. We allow you to incorporate all the different media types that you're using nowadays, so unlimited high-res photos, Matterport or any type of 3D tour provider, and videos. Getting through the process of creating a website really takes just a couple of minutes, so our goal is to really streamline your workflow, make your agents happy with the end result. And so we'll jump into it and start demoing the product.
Yeah, I would say, Mike, even before you get into how to create a single property website with RELA, perhaps we could take a look at a few examples to see the different styles that are available.
Definitely. Okay. So one of the main differentiators between us and other single property website or virtual tour providers is really the quality of our designs and the uniqueness in terms of the designs that we produce. We want to stay away from that boring kind of listing layout or that just standard black background with an image slideshow. We want to present a beautiful website that really helps agents stand out from the crowd when they're marketing their listings. So we've got 13 templates to choose from right now. We're always tweaking, adjusting, improving the templates that we have, and then we release a new template about every 6 weeks. All of the templates work great on mobile. Each template allows you to include all of the features that we provide. So video, unlimited photos, 3D tours, documents. So there's no limitations there. So you can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this is just the example gallery here of our templates. And so we'll preview some of these here.
And if you do want to follow along, it's relahq.com, RELAHQ.com, and simply click on the template samples.
Right. So this is Bren. This is one of our popular templates. You can see we want to highlight this property. So we've got the big cover photo here. This one's more of a bold design. We've got everything that a prospective buyer wants to see when they're looking at this. They've got the description, amenities. We've got an embedded virtual tour here. We've got a gallery. This is a kind of unique layout for the gallery. And of course, you can go into full screen mode with the gallery. You've got your agents and map and lead collection form. So let's take a look at another one here. And so we've got
you have sound.
This full screen background video effect, which is pretty cool. If you're shooting those drone videos or just the high quality produced property listing videos, this looks great in that background area. You can, of course, add your own video gallery, which is embedded into the page here, just like a virtual tour would be, or you can add it up in the main menu link here. And again, all of the templates have all of these features available. So feel free to kind of look through them and pick the one that looks the best. Switching templates, you can do that at any time, and there's no additional steps needed to make it look correct. Everything will lay out the way that it should. So you can see the variation in our templates. And again, trying to stay away from that kind of boring, just normal standard listing website template design. Everything that we build is built in-house with our design team and built from scratch. So what's up here? All right, should we log in and start taking a look at some of these features here?
Yeah, that sounds great. So, I think as you get set up here, that I think part of the key takeaways that I was seeing: 13 different designs, a new one every 6 months. You can include did I get that wrong?
Yeah, we shoot to release a new one every 6 weeks here. So
Excuse me, a new template every 6 weeks, or at least that's the goal. And all of your templates can include Matterport Spaces 3D tours. And for that matter, any 3D tour, I'm going to imagine you'll show that, but probably based on, as long as it has iframe, you can embed it simply by copying the iframe. So I'm sure you'll show us that. So Matterport, photos, video, aerial, floor plans, map, text information. And if you present as a photographer, if you present this to one of your clients and the client doesn't like that design, it's easy to switch between designs.
right, exactly.
Great.
Okay, so I've logged into my demo photographer account. What we're looking at now is just the list of the property websites that we've created. And one thing to note is that we white label this system for you. So when you sign up, you complete the company settings here, and you add all of your company info, and you can attach a white label subdomain so that agents are logging into a URL that's branded to your company. They won't see any of the RELA branding on any of the materials inside the dashboard or any of the property websites. It'll all be branded to you. And getting that set up is super simple. Really, you just need to set up your white label subdomain, add your logos and branding, and you're off and running. So let's jump back to property editor. Again, this is just a basic dashboard where you've got all of the properties you've created. You can see which agents you've assigned to the property and whether or not they have full access, meaning they can edit the property website when they log in, or if they're just display only, where they're simply listed as a listing agent on the property. We also provide media only properties. So if an agent wasn't interested in using the property website, or they weren't convinced that they should have one, you can set it to media delivery only, meaning you can upload your photos. We preserve the original size that you upload, and then we make available different sizes that they can download if they need to upload to their MLS or to another online resource where smaller sizes are required. And the situation with the media delivery only is if you select that as media delivery only, the agent logs in and they can actually still see the website when they're logged in. So you have a bit of an upsell opportunity, because the goal is they're kind of poking around and looking at this, and they download their photos and they click view property, and they say, hey, this actually is really cool. I'd like to use this. Well, they can request that you convert it to a live website for them. And you'll get a notification, and once you've done that, you can convert it over to a website, and then you've got that upsell opportunity. And this is a change to our pricing. Actually, with our monthly plan, media delivery is free if you pay the $99 a month, and with that, you also get 6 credits every month for property websites. So a pretty good deal there.
Okay, we'll take a deeper dive into pricing and free trials towards the end of the program.
Okay.
Trying to understand, okay, I love what I see, but how do I create one?
Awesome. All right, so creating a website is really simple. It takes just a couple steps here. And so when you're ready to create a new website, or even media delivery only, you can just click Add Property. And of course, we need the address. I'm just going to paste this in here. And click Add Property. So once you've done that, we'll actually go out and import in property details. So beds, baths, square footage, your bill, if there's a list price available.
Where'd all this come from?
We pull that from public records, so various different sources that we cross-reference, and if we match those enough sources, to say, okay, this data is correct, we'll import it in. So that's a little time saver for you. I'm sure you don't remember every square footage of every home that you're shooting. Worst case scenario, if we don't find a match for this property information, you can just go ahead and fill it in. So we'll just fill in the missing fields here.
Mike, can you just take us through just a kind of a big picture of the kinds of things, just a little bit slower, of what kinds of things are you pre-importing based on the street address?
So the majority of the time we'll import the year built, the property type, the beds, baths, the home square footage, lot size, and then on occasion we'll be able to get stories and parking spaces. But for the most of the time, you'll have all of this information you see on this sidebar here filled in for you.
So the idea here is to be able to save the photographer perhaps 95% of the time of creating the listing. Presumably the agent has a paragraph that wants to be shared on the property, but maybe just double checking that everything's accurate here. Or for that matter, the photographer preparing this ahead of time, sharing it with the agent and say, could you please verify the information?
Right.
Okay.
And so, again, you can just fill out the missing fields. We provide a default description for you that's dynamic, and it's based off of the details that we pull in. So beds, baths, square footage, it'll pull that into this description. And obviously you can change this description from the default one that we provide. And if you provide your agent with a login to your platform, then they can come in and edit this too once they've been assigned to the property.
And obviously that login is, we can limit it to just their listings.
Certainly.
So that's like a folder and a file system of, they have access either to a specific file, a single property website, or they have access to a folder and they can see all their listings that they're doing with us.
Right. So what they'll see actually, and we'll just take a look at their dashboard just for a second here, is when they log in, this is their primary dashboard. So they'll see, sorry, let's take that back here. They'll see a list of all of their properties, and only the ones that they've been assigned will they have access to. And so they'll have a list of all these properties over here, and this is what they'll see as soon as they log in. And so we'll get to that in a second when we get to that step. We'll show you
so if the agent decides to change the price, doesn't need to call the photographer to say, could you change the price? The property's been sold. Could you change it to sold? The property's under contract. Could you change it under contract? The agent can manage all that themselves if they're that kind of agent.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so any changes to the website they can make on their own. So if they want to, like you said, all of those components they can change. They can resort the images if they want. They can even change the theme. And so the agents, when they log in, will have access to edit any component of the website. Of course, they won't have access to any of your admin settings or other clients or other listings, only the ones that they've been assigned. Okay, so let's jump back into creating the property here. So default description looks okay. I can check off some amenities. We can add custom amenities here if they're not in the list. We can also add open house dates, or if the agent wants to do that, we can do that as well. So we'll just hit save here.
And do they automatically expire after the time period for the open house?
So the display, the banner that says open house on the website will only show dates that are that day or in the future. So you don't have to worry about coming in and deleting the old dates.
Great.
All right, so this all looks good. Really the next step is we want to upload some photos. So I'll go ahead and click add files, and you can grab all the photos that you have at once and just hit upload. And again, we're preserving the original file size that you upload so that when the agent comes in and logs in, they'll have access to download what we call the print version, which is the original size you uploaded. And then we'll automatically resize those to the MLS compliance size and then a smaller version of that. And so, all right, looks like we've got our property photos in there. Again, there's no limit on the number of photos that you can add. So if you've got photos that the agent may not want to display on the website, but they want them for other purposes, they can come in and hide those from the gallery without deleting them, and download them one by one if they want. You can sort these. You just drag all the items that you want to sort at once and pop them into the right place, or you can do it one by one. You can have property descriptions here as well. We also have sorting options based off of some of the EXIF data on the photos that you upload. So if you've got, if you're shooting room by room and you want to sort by date taken, you can do that down to the second. Or if you've got your own file naming convention, you can apply the sort to that as well. We also have the option to auto assign descriptions based off of the file name. So if you're naming your images, main bedroom, kitchen, bathroom, we can search through those file names and then automatically populate the descriptions based off of those keywords.
Wow.
So you can bulk delete too if you want to delete them all or delete a bunch of them at once, or you can delete them one by one. Okay, so let's go to the next step here, and that's choosing the theme. So at this point, the website is almost there. We've got a preview of the website that we can see in this window, and this is using the Arlo theme, but maybe we want to change that to Echo, which is one of our newer themes. And okay, that looks pretty good.
Was it the first photo in the list became the hero image?
Yeah, that's correct. So the first photo in that photo grid, when you're sorting them, will be the main image here. Okay, so that looks good.
Can I overwrite that?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you wanted to change that cover image, you just go ahead and move whichever image you'd like to show up in that main section to that first spot.
Okay, so I might still sort based on the order that I shot, but I still may have a shot out of order that I'd like to be the hero image. So I can drag just that one and overwrite the sorting process.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so jumping back to the theme, this looks good. We picked the theme that we want to go with, and now we'll move to the listing agent. So this is where you will assign.
You went a little fast for me. I'm missing my Matterport space.
Oh, we want to do, okay, let's do the Matterport space here. Okay, so on the videos and virtual tab is where you would add video or Matterport tours. So let's start with the Matterport. Really simple here. You can add unbranded and branded. And all you need is the Matterport link to the tour. So you don't need the full embed code. You just grab the link, the URL to that tour, and hit upload.
And where do I place the order, or is that based on the template theme?
So each template has its own particular section that displays the Matterport tour. You can embed that into the page in that section, or if you wanted it to be like a link in the main menu, you could set that as well. So we'll take a look and see what this looks like here. So we've got this set to embedded in the page, and there it is.
Okay, and if I wanted to overwrite the template so that it's higher, no, pick the template that where the Matterport space is where you want it to be.
Are you asking if you wanted to move this section to a different spot on the template?
If I wanted to move it up higher.
No, each template has its own predetermined spot for where the tour is right now.
Got it. And if that was a some other tour service, where would I put the iframe in?
Same thing. So for any tour service, you really all you need is the link. We never want the full iframe embed.
Ah, okay, great.
Just need the URL to that tour. We support every tour that we're aware of out there. If for some reason you see a message that said that service isn't provided, you can just reach out to us through our live chat and say, hey, can you whitelist this tour provider for us? And as long as it conforms to our basic standard, then we'll add it for you. And all it requires is that it's run over SSL, so over a secure connection.
Yeah, that's awesome. That saves a lot of gobbledygook of copying iframe and etc. If you can just put in the URL for the tour, that just seems great. Yeah.
Yeah. And so one thing to note is we will be expanding this to allow you to upload unlimited tours. So if you've got multiple, 3D tours for a property, inside, exterior, outside, that'll be coming online here soon.
Will that be on all the templates or just on some of them?
It'll be on all the templates. So any feature that we have, any feature that we mentioned will always be available on every template.
Okay, terrific.
So same thing with the video. Same workflow here. If you've got video hosted on YouTube or Vimeo, you can simply copy the URL to that video and hit upload. If you'd rather just upload the MP4 directly, you can do that as well, and we'll take it, process it, and stream it. We use YouTube as our back-end streaming source, so we'll have all of that, the benefits of that technology, even when you upload the MP4. So we'll go with the link for now.
I'm struggling just to look. Do you support Vimeo and other platforms, or YouTube only?
We support YouTube and Vimeo, and then if you wanted to upload your MP4 file instead, you can do that as well.
Okay, great.
So this is the cover video section here. This gives us the option to do that full background video. And so when you set that, that'll show up in the main area here. So let's take a look at, see what that looks like. Let's see if we can make this here. So again, a pretty cool effect with that background video. It's in that main area. And it'll autoplay when the user gets to the site. And so again, if you're shooting, those cool drone videos, or even, just good looking videos, you can put that there.
Mm-hmm. On the sound that we were hearing, was that coming from the video?
That was coming from the video, yeah.
And on some templates, if I'm not using the video, I have a library of license-free, royalty-free music.
That's correct. Yep. We'll take a look at that in a second here.
Okay.
And so if you had sound on that video, you could mute that sound on the background video if you wanted to, and then you could select a song to add to the property to go with that if you wanted to. And then so you see down here on the video gallery, this option allows you to upload as many videos as you want, and those will be embedded into the page, just kind of like the Matterport was embedded, but it'll be in a gallery format. So if you've got multiple videos that you want to include, or if the agent has community videos or just kind of standard videos that they want to include on the list, and they can do that as well. And again, you can upload as many as you want here. You can choose the cover image. You can sort them, and then you can select whether or not it can show up on the branded or unbranded version.
Mm-hmm. Now, I notice you haven't been saving. Is there an auto save feature that's going on as you're working?
There is a bit of an auto save feature. It's always safe to save it if you think you want to save those changes, but for certain components on here, they're saved. So
okay. And then I think we should probably point out here that this is all cloud-based. You have not loaded any software down to my computer for me to create a tour.
Correct. So this is all in the cloud. It's all hosted on our servers, and we manage everything. So zero hassle from the tech side.
Okay, terrific.
And so you can see the video gallery that we've got here.
Okay.
Show up in a modal. And again, you can add as many of those as you'd like.
Can you take us to the consumer-facing page of this page to look at? Is there a preview before you go live?
Yes. So at any point in time, when you're creating this website, you'll see this status up here that says not published.
Mm-hmm.
So that means anyone who's not logged in can't see this website, right? So it's not visible by a public visitor.
Mm-hmm.
You can view it though when you're logged in. All you need to do is click this view button here, and and that'll take you to the preview of the website.
Great. And which template style are we looking at?
This is Echo.
Echo. Okay. And if you just scroll up just for a moment, I know we have some new photographers in our virtual studio audience. If you go down a little bit to the lead generation form, I just can't overemphasize this is an opportunity for when the agent is sharing this or the homeowner is sharing this, for anyone that wants to fill out this form, that generates a lead, and that lead goes to?
That goes to the agents that are listed on the property.
Okay.
So we haven't added our agents yet. So once we do that, any of the listing agents who show up here will receive an email. And that email will come from you. It'll be branded with your logo and your brand colors. Again, so it won't say anything regarding RELA. And then those leads are also stored in their dashboard. So when they log in, they can look at any leads that have been submitted.
Could we add an agent to this?
Yep, let's do that right now. Okay, so onto the listing agents section. So you can do this at any point in time, but since we're here, we'll add an agent from our library, or you can create a new account on the fly. But let's just pick someone from our existing agent list here. And so we've got, let's say John is the listing agent, and we want to add his assistant, who is Joe. So a cool feature here, you can set these clients to show up as a listing agent on the property and have edit access. Or in this case, if we wanted John's assistant to log in, and he's going to be the one actually managing, updates to the website and all of the other stuff, because John's too busy selling homes. You can uncheck show on property. And so when Joe logs in from his dashboard, he'll see this property website as available to him, and he can edit the property. So he can take on some of those tasks that he does as Joe's assistant, but he doesn't show up on the listing. So
terrific. Yep.
John. And so we can, let's add a logo here. One thing to note, and I'll show you how to do this in a second, but you can start with a listing agent and add a property for that listing agent. So they're added as soon as you create the property. And when you do that, it'll pull in some of his default information. So if you've got a logo that you've uploaded for this client account, if you've got a default template that you've selected for this client account, those will all be applied as soon as you create that property. But since we did it kind of backwards here, let's go to...
So for example, if John Doe preferred the Echo template, then that's what would populate as soon as you assigned.
Correct. Yeah, and we'll take a look at that in a second here. Okay, so we've got the logo added. We've got our agents added. And when this is ready to go, you would publish the website. And then it's available to view by the public. But if you wanted John and Joe to review this first, you can leave it unpublished.
Mm-hmm.
And then you simply click the Notify Agents button here. And that will send a custom branded email to them, a nicely formatted HTML email with the photo of the property, the address, and then they'll say, hey, Joe, your new website's been created for you. Here's the link to log in. And once they've done that, if they've already registered, we'll provide an auto login link for them, so they won't have to remember their password each time. It'll automatically log them in and take them to this, take them to their dashboard where they can start reviewing the property. If it's their first time, it'll send a registration link where they fill out their information, and then they'll be taken to the property. And you can customize this email template from your settings to say, whatever you'd like it to say. You can obviously edit this information as it's in here right now. But if you have your own message that you want to send out every time, you can change that from your settings as your default message. So another component to point out on this page, is you can set an expiration date for this property. So if you're charging the agent for this website for a certain amount of time, maybe 6 months or a year, and if they plan to keep it longer than that, you're going to charge them again. You can set whatever date you want this to automatically unpublish. And when it does that, if there's an expiration date in here, the agent will not be able to publish it themselves. They'll have to reach out to you and ask them to publish it, at which point, you can charge whatever you need to. So
I love that. And in fact, there are a number of We Get Around Network forum members that may include 3 months of hosting, for example, with the listing, and so this makes that process really easy. To well, it's listed for more than 3 months. Time to pay me another $50 or whatever it is. Yeah,
yep, exactly
that's awesome. That. Yep.
Okay, so let's look at some of these other features here. Onto the music section, we've got our library of songs that you are free to use. We did our best to pick music that wasn't cheesy and wasn't elevator music, so new up-to-date stuff. It doesn't sound like the normal stock music that you see out there a lot. If you don't like what we've got, then you can certainly upload your own MP3s as long as you have you purchase those and you have copyright access to it. So easy enough to do. And one thing to note too is if you upload MP3s of your own in your account, you can make those available to other your agent customers when they log in. So if you've got your own list of music that you prefer they choose from, you can upload all of those and they'll have access to pick which one they want to use.
So now that we've added music, does the agent have access to change or add music, or no, photographer's in control of that?
The agent will have access to change or add music.
Is that from the global library of the photographer, or only music that's been assigned to that agent?
It's from the global library of the photographer.
Okay, so presumably the photographer is adding royalty-free, license-free music,
Right.
or is paid for it, and any of the photographer's clients could use that music.
Correct.
And self-make that change.
Yep. And so the agent can essentially choose which song out of the library that they want to use. And if they have their own music, they can certainly upload it as well. So okay. Another feature we have here is the document upload. So this is used for any types of documents that potential buyers may need to review before they make an offer. So anything from title reports to floor plans or anything like that, you can upload here. You can
homeowners association
information, anything that's going to help. Anything that the agent needs to make sure a buyer has access to before they make an offer. You can upload floor plans here as well. And so again, kind of the same process as uploading photos. You can grab all of the items that you want at once.
And are the floor plans done as a link and in that section?
Right now, the floor plans are done as a link.
So if I wanted it really as a photo, I could treat the floor plan as a photo and upload it to the photo section?
We don't recommend doing that right now, but we actually are next week launching our floor plan gallery. So again, on all the templates, you'll be able to upload images of the floor plans, and you can actually hotspot those floor plans. So if you've got photos that correspond with each room, you can select the hotspot, assign the photo, add a description. That's scheduled again for release next week. You don't have to do the hotspotting. If you just wanted a simple gallery, you could do that as well.
Okay, so that's the week of February 12th, 2018, that there'll be a gallery feature for floor plans.
Correct. And this is kind of a preview of what it looks like here. So we've got floor plans are now in their own gallery.
And that's clickable, and is that printable?
No, these aren't printable. I mean, you could save this and print it, but we don't have a print feature yet.
So you might put it in two places, put it in the floor plan gallery and then treat it as a document and upload it to the document section.
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay.
And so this is an example of the floor plans without the hotspots. It just shows up in a gallery where they can zoom in and see the details here. The hotspot gallery will have tabs for each floor, and then as you hover over each hotspot, you'll see the image that's assigned to it. So,
and is that also the week of February 12th, 2018?
Yeah.
And so just if I can just understand a little bit better, I have a photo of the living room, or I have 4 photos of the living room. I need to assign the point of where I put those pictures.
Correct. You would, from the dashboard, you would just click Add New Hotspot, find the spot that you want to place that, and then assign the photo to it.
And assigning the photo, is that dragging the photo? Is that I have a library of the photos are named living room 1, living room 2, living room 3, so forth, and I'm creating a tag that says living room 1, and it's looking for that kind of like an anchor.
You'll see a list of the photos that you've uploaded, and then you can choose out of that library which one you want to assign to that.
Okay. So if I put a point and I label it living room window or something, I can go see all my images and decide which one I'm going to click on to assign that tag to that image.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So let's jump back here. So again, these are the documents. I would track the downloads for you too, so you and the agent can see how many people have downloaded them. Pretty basic stuff there. The address and map, this is a pretty straightforward screen. You can adjust the map. So if you want to show that this is close to the ocean here, you can zoom out and save it. You can move the marker if for some reason it doesn't end up in the right spot, but when you have the address, it should automatically find the lat and long for you and place this map automatically.
The longitude and latitude based on the street address.
Correct. So we'll do that automatically, but in some few cases, new construction or things like that, it's not findable, but you can always adjust this location here. Okay, so onto the domain section. So as soon as you set up your white label domain in your company settings when you register, all of your property websites will be viewable on that domain. And so we'll automatically generate that URL for you based off of the property street address. You can change that if you want, or the agent can change it as well.
So I'm a little bit confused here. So let's say the domain is photo. Let's just assume that we have the domain photo.com. What is it that I actually end up with within RELA as it relates to a listing? Is it going to be photo.com/123 Main Street?
Correct. Yep, exactly that.
Okay, photo.com/123 Main Street.
Yep.
That is the single property website URL for that property, living off of the domain that the photographer assigns, and that's by client? No, that's by photographer.
That's by photographer. So all of the property websites that you create will live on that domain, and so they'll each have their unique URL, obviously.
Mm-hmm. What are photographers doing now? Are they using a generic domain, or are they using the company name for their photography?
Typically, and we suggest using a subdomain for your primary domain. So something like sites or tours is popular. So you can see here on this demo account, we've got sites.photogco.com.
Went a little fast for me.
So for this demo account, we set up our white label domain to be sites.photogco.com, right? So that's the subdomain that we chose to host these websites on. Now, photogco.com is my primary, photography company domain name, where customers are visiting to view information about the company. And so it keeps the user experience consistent with your branding in the URL.
So for WeGetAroundAtlanta.com, WeGetAroundAtlanta.com, we might set up a subdomain of tours that it's now tours.WeGetAroundAtlanta.com/tour name, which might be 123 Main Street, or in Atlanta it would be 123 Peachtree Street.
Correct. Yep. That's exactly how it works. So yeah.
Okay, great.
And you can change that too. So if you wanted to, shorten this a bit or change it to another, easier to recognize URL, you can do that as long as that's not taken away.
And I could imagine for some clients that say, I don't want tours.WeGetAroundAtlanta.com/name, that we could go off the GoDaddy and for less than $4 for a year, go buy 123 Peachtree Street.
Certainly.
.info.
A couple different options with the full custom domains. You can go to GoDaddy or any registrar and purchase a domain and attach it to this website. All you need to do is paste it in here and follow the DNS setup instructions. The other option is you can purchase a domain directly through RELA. And so all you need to do here is type in the domain name that you want.
Forgive me, I'm sending people to GoDaddy. You have a solution that's built in. Forgive me. I mean, frankly, I'd much rather just buy it from you and have you assign it to the right spot. So I could literally type in 123 PeachtreeStreet.com, and if it's available.
Yep. And so if it's available, we'll just take you through the checkout process. If it's not available, we'll show you some alternative domain names that you can use. Okay. Once you've purchased that domain, we automatically configure the DNS settings for you. So you don't have to worry about messing with that on each property. It'll happen within a matter of minutes, and it'll be ready and viewable. So that's the advantage of purchasing. The rest you don't have to worry about the connection settings from your end. So
terrific. That's great.
All right. And so any other domains that you may have purchased before, you can reassign to this property if you want to use it, if it's a generic and that for it. So you've got all your domains that you purchased down there. So let's take a look at some of the other settings here. So this is probably used most by agents once they've logged in, but they can add their own custom tracking pixels from Facebook or their Google Analytics ID, or they can add custom script for whatever tracking scripts they may be using for marketing. And they can also route leads to different systems. So in the case that you wanted to forward a lead to your CRM inbox, you could do that really easily here. Again, that's probably what the agents will set up on their own on a per property basis.
So I need some help understanding this. This is lead distribution list. So even if the agent is John Doe and his email address is john@doe.com, this is the page that actually determines where the leads go to, which is different than in the lead generation form where it has the agent profile info.
Right. So the leads will be sent to whoever's listed on their property in the listing agent section.
So this is in addition to that. Here's where you can say, I have 3 people on our team that I also want to get those leads as well.
Right. And so you can see here, this is an example of an email that you would typically put in here, right? It's an inbox email for notifyleads.com, which is a platform that distributes incoming email leads to your different CRMs. So it's something that you don't want anyone to see on the public side, but you still need that information sent, because then it'll route it to whatever system that you're storing your leads in. So
perfect. Or even something like Zapier that lets you parse an email and
exactly.
Do whatever you want with the content that comes through that form.
Yep.
Incidentally, are you is the photographer in control of what fields are added for the lead generation form, or is it a standard form with name, phone, email?
Standard form with name, phone, and email.
Any other fields?
And a message too. So,
so the message box. Okay, great.
Yeah, so just standard lead information. And it's, yeah, not configurable on that end. Okay. So last feature here for the property website. Once you've uploaded all your information, you can easily create flyers. So just head to the flyer section, click create flyer. Let's give it a title. Pick a template here that you want to use, and you'll have a flyer generated in just a couple seconds here. And so you can edit this flyer. The agent can edit the flyer as well. We've got a couple different options for display. So if you wanted to do multiple images, we could add multiple images to this. You can change any of the images that you want or that are in here. So you can change, you know, anything you see on here, point and click. I'm going to add the other agent. We've got another agent on here. You can do that. You can change the logo out. You've got different logos that work better on this flyer. And let's see here.
Are each of these, are there one template design per single property website design? So if I'm looking at Echo, this might be the Echo one sheet?
No, as it is right now, we just have a global set of templates for the flyers. So they don't really necessarily correspond to the website template.
Okay, so and how many flyer templates do you have today?
We have 2 today, but with the announcement of our new flyer generator, which will be online in the next 2 weeks, we'll have a ton more templates to choose from. I can show you that really quickly.
Yeah, that'd be great. So by March 1, 2018, you'll go from 2 templates for flyers to many templates.
Right. So with the new release of our flyer tool, you really won't be limited too much in terms of what you want to do. It'll be really drag and drop, kind of point and click. You can add your own design, save your own design template if you want to reuse it. You do multiple pages. You can do almost any size that you can think of. So if you wanted to do, you know, postcard style size, if you wanted to do an Instagram size or maybe a door hanger size, anything like that you can do. And so this is what the new flyer setup will look like. These are just some flyers that I created with the system already. And this is a flyer that we've got in process here. So you can see we've got multiple pages in this flyer now. And go ahead and click to edit. And really you can customize anything on here. So you can change the font to a different font if you want from all of these in the list. You can add custom shapes in here if you want to add some additional elements to this.
Excuse me, Mike, what you're showing now is what's coming by March 1, 2018
Yep.
Is a one sheet editor with many templates with lots of flexibility.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are the existing 2 flyers, are they one sheets? Are they front and back?
Those are just single one sheet flyers now.
And does it import, if I wanted to say, bring everything in that's on my single property website and just let's start with that and I'm going to edit out content, can I do that?
Yeah, so we'll have the templates that are set up for you. We'll pull in the information from the website that you've already added. So the cover photo, address, all the details, listing agent information, logos. So you'll start with all of that information in the template that we give you, and you can change any of that. You know, move it around the page if you want to do different styles, different layouts, but starting with our base template. And once you've got something that looks good and you want to use, you can save that template and reuse it for other properties too. So you'll have the option to choose from the ones that we provide or the ones that you've created on your own.
So I go take one of yours and I modify it. I can then save my modification as a template. Or if I want to start from scratch and import,
Yep, exactly.
I could import my own template. File formats, style, is any
So you wouldn't necessarily import it. You would just create it here.
create it within the RELA template editor?
Yeah, and then you
Okay.
can save that as a template that you want to reuse.
And does the agent have access as well to their flyer?
With the new flyer setup, the photographer will have the option to give access to the agent, full access, or if they want to limit access to it, so if it's something that you're charging additional for, you can limit per property, per agent, or globally.
So can I let the agent preview that? So I go in and I say, we've agreed on Matterport, photo, video, aerial, a map, text description, and then I can come in and say, oh, by the way, it's got proof written all over it, or they can't download it unless they buy.
Right. Yep. So we'll have that whole review process in there. And exactly what you said, it'll be watermarked with proof, and then once it's good to go, the photographer can deliver the final version of it.
So I have a client where that's included in our bundle. It's not going to say proof. They'll have access to it. They can download it and have a good time with it. Go print off copies, whatever they want to do with that flyer. It's in a PDF form.
Yeah, so it'll download in a high resolution PDF. So that's one of the main differentiators with our flyer tool. And currently the flyers actually do print out in a full resolution PDF. So you'll have the option to do multi-pages in a PDF. If it's, say it's an Instagram post that you designed, you can download that as an image so that it's compatible with uploading to Instagram.
So on the ones that say proof, is it built in for them to just click to buy, or is it they need to send an email to the photographer, whatever it is that they agree on, and then the photographer enables the agent to be able to get a non-proof version?
We'll have all of those options built in. So if you wanted them just to review it first without being able to edit anything, and say you weren't charging them right there for that, they could just approve it and download it, where they don't have edit access to it. Eventually, when we have our payment system in place, you will be able to allow the agent to pay for that flyer right there.
So do you want to talk about that feature now, or still other things you want to show us?
Sure, let's talk about it now.
Okay, so here's my question. I just for clarity, I've sent off the version to the client, says proof on it, and I charge $149 if they want to have that. So what's this payment engine I'm hearing about?
So the payment engine is another feature that we've got scheduled here. That's probably about 4 weeks out from now.
So it's in March. Let's call it the last day in March.
Correct.
By the last day in March 2018, the flyer engine editor, which will be full robust by, let's call that March 1. Your team is probably all around you cringing in terms of dates that we're talking about. We'll say this is the expected dates. There may be some flexibility here. They want to do it right, not rushed. But for the purposes of having our best guess, let's say by March 1, the robust RELA flyer editor will be live, and then by the end of March, maybe sometime into April, the payment engine will work, so that there could literally be a price and the agent could go put in their credit card.
Yeah, so with the payment engine, that's not limited to just flyers. It will be a platform that will allow you to generate invoices for agents, and you can determine what they have access to and what they don't have access to based on the payment status for that particular invoice or work order. And so if you wanted them to pay in full before they could publish the website, you could choose to do that. If you wanted to limit their access to downloading the flyer until they've paid that portion of the fee, you can do that as well. And that's going to be fully integrated with Stripe. And so really easy to get set up. You just either log in with Stripe or create a new account. And
excuse me. So just for the Stripe, STRIPE.com, an online mechanism for credit card settlement.
Right. So that's just the payment processor.
And so when you use Stripe and someone pays you with the credit card, then the money is automatically deposited into your checking account. So you link Stripe to your checking account. Once you've set up Stripe, now you'll be able to plug Stripe into the RELA payment engine.
Correct.
Okay.
And so you'll be able to generate your own list of products and prices for those products, which then you can generate invoices for agents and track, work orders, and then have them pay at any, time during during the workflow of you providing photos, allowing them to upload, allowing them to download the photos, allowing them to publish the website or download the brochures that you've created for them. So it'll be pretty flexible.
That's amazing. And plus, I think what I'm particularly excited about there is I could imagine, sometimes as a photographer, you can go in with a laundry list and it's so much it can be overwhelming to a client. But to be able to have the agent go into the portal, to the RELA platform and be able to, oh, look at that. I didn't, single property, a brochure, a video, photos, whatever other digital assets that the photographer has created can now be sold a la carte.
Correct.
To the agent.
Yep.
And then in the case of that brochure, it sounds like after you've done one or three of these and you have your own template that particular agent's happy with, then it really is one click. It just automatically sucks in all the content, the photos, the design style, the logos, the photo of the agent. And so I would imagine for the photographer, for many of us who are very busy, that you've just enabled the photographer to monetize something that will now be able to be implemented with one click.
Yeah, absolutely. So and the plan with the payment system is we're rolling it out in phases. The first phase.
Excuse me, Mike. Do you have more to demo? If you don't, let's take it off screen sharing. If there was other things you wanted to share.
Let's just take a look at the agent list real quick, just so you can see what that looks like. This is just your list of agent accounts that you've added to the system. You can see if they've logged in before, when they've last logged in. You can edit their default information, or you can create a property website directly from here for that agent, which will pre-populate all of their information into the website. So pretty basic stuff here, but wanted to show you that. So then of course you can sort and filter by agent, company, name, email. So
the RELA team has been busy.
Yeah, we're busy. I mean, that's really our focus is trying to constantly improve, what we're doing. So we really listen closely to the customers that we have on the platform.
Excuse me, one sec. Let's take us off screen share.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Up at the top. Yep.
There we go.
Thank you.
So
hang on just one more second, Mike. I just wanted to let we have members in the virtual studio audience, and if they have questions, maybe they could just give me a little chat in the chat window to say you'd like to go live on television, and we can add them to our virtual studio to ask your questions directly. So forgive me, Mike, you were about to say.
Yeah, so our focus is really, improving the system on a daily basis and adding features that will make your life as a photographer and your clients' lives, easier. And so we really listen closely to feedback from our customers, and when there's valid requests for features that will do that, then we take a look at it with our development team, which is in-house, and we decide, okay, this is something that will be valuable, and we'll start building it. And so that's why, when we're doing the demo today, we had, I think it was 3 new features that are coming online in the next couple of weeks here. So we're constantly doing that. And so with the payment system, we're rolling that out in a couple of different phases. The first phase will be the ability to generate invoices for the work that you've done, so that the agent can access those digital assets upon payment. The second phase will be an ordering system within the RELA dashboard. So when the agent logs in, they can order a new tour directly from their dashboard with their list of with your list of custom products that you've created and pricing. And then the third phase will be an integrated payment and ordering platform that you can actually bring into your own website, which will integrate the product list and order form so that an agent can visit your website, click a button, order now, and have a nicely designed kind of checkout workflow for you. So
what's your timing for that?
That's going to probably be towards the end of Q2 2008. So.
Okay.
2018.
Okay. So by the end of June 2008, you would anticipate a RELA, let's call it a white label RELA widget that a photographer will be able to embed in their website to enable clients to place an order for if they want photos, video, Twilight, Matterport, some other 3D tour, whatever that list of stuff is.
Yeah.
And also, this is request a time, date, location, or is this a real-time booking based on the photographer's schedule? This is a request for and a suggested date and time.
We're moving towards scheduling. That's always a very kind of complicated set of technology, but it still kind of to be determined on how we're going to set up the scheduling. But as of now, it'll be requesting a time that they want the shoot, and then the photographer can accept that, and it'll sync to a calendar. So
to a Google Calendar, presumably.
Yeah.
So phase 1 is being able to order whatever the photographer's services are, prices, with a requested time, date, location. And is there a checkbox for the photographer to say accept, and then it calendars everybody, or is it then sending back send back a note to 2 p.m. on Thursday, but how does 8 o'clock on Friday morning work?
Yeah, I mean that workflow will be built in when we get to that. That'll actually be phase 3 of the entire payment processing platform. So
yeah, sounds like a lot. Yeah.
So phase 1 is the photographer can generate invoices from RELA and then assign those to agents and have them pay and unlock the digital assets based on payment. Phase 2 again will be agents can order from the RELA dashboard, with custom menu and pricing and all that stuff. And then the phase 3 will be the fully integrated, ordering widget that will go on your own company website that you embed. So
let's talk about pricing. You teased this a little bit, but the pricing for photographers.
Yeah. So the pricing for photographers is $99 a month, and what you get for that is we give you 6 property credits each month. So 1 credit equals 1 property website. You also, on the $99 a month plan, get free media delivery. So you don't have to pay for media delivery, and that's a change from what our pricing was last year. We were charging credits for media delivery, but so with this new plan, you're not charged for media delivery.
Okay, so for $99 a month, I get 6 credits. Each credit equals a single property website. So it's 6 or up to 6 are included. If I don't use all 6, do they roll over or they expire?
Yep, they roll over. They don't expire.
And then if I do more than 6 a month, then each additional one is how many credits or dollars?
So it ranges depending on what the size of the credit bundle is that you purchase. So if you wanted to purchase just one at a time, they're $15. If you purchase 10 credits at a time, it's $12. If you purchase 50 credits at a time, it's $11. And if you purchase 100 credits at a time, it's $10 per credit. So.
Okay, so for depending on how busy, because it could be one photographer, it could be 5 photographers as part of a group, that it's someplace between $10 and $15 for each additional single property website based on how they're buying their credits, whether it's one at a time or buying up to 100 at one time.
Correct.
Okay. The pricing on, I'd like a custom domain. I'd like a vanity domain.
So when you purchase those from us, those are $14, $14.99 actually, and that's for a year's worth of registration.
Is that a .com, a .info, a .something else?
That's the .com. I believe the .info is like $15.50, a little bit more, and then the .net is also $14.99.
So $14.99, and I can get a .com domain, assuming it's available.
Correct.
Okay. You got anything else to sell me?
I think that's it for right now. Let's see here.
Presently, I believe that you have a free trial offer.
That's right. So for the We Get Around Network, we're extending the free trial to 14 days. It's typically 7 days.
Okay.
And so, yeah, you jump in there, give it a shot with the 14-day free trial. We'll give you 6 property credits to start with, so you can play around with some demo properties. You can add agent accounts, or you can add your own test agent accounts to check it out. And you'll basically have full access to all of the features in RELA during that trial period. And then when you're ready to upgrade, you can just go through the upgrade process and pay for the account. We'll give you those 6 credits, and then you're off and running.
So, and thank you for making the extension for the We Get Around Network Forum. Just to add a little bit of clarity, if you're watching this on WGAN-TV, within the We Get Around Network Forum, simply private message me, say that you would like the RELA 14-day free trial, put that in your headline, send me another nice note in the body of your email, but just in the headline that you're requesting the RELA, or we actually should say the WGAN Forum, the We Get Around RELA 14-day free trial, and I'll send you back a private message. For any new We Get Around Network Forum members, as of Friday, February 9th, 2018, when you join the We Get Around Network Forum, we'll make sure that that information is actually in the automatic email, the welcome email that you get for joining the forum. I think there's something like 15 membership benefits. We'll add this as another membership benefit, that you get a 14-day free trial instead of what the general public gets as a 7-day free trial if you just go to the RELA, RELAHQ.com website. You can sign up today for a 7-day free trial. But if you join the We Get Around Network Forum, totally free, you get 14 days free trial instead of 7. And it comes with 6 credits, which means you can do 6 single property websites. Thank you for that, extending that offer to us, Mike. What else haven't we covered that you'd like to talk about?
Well, I think, again, just kind of touching on the aspect that, our focus is really wanting to streamline your workflow as a photographer and get you in and out of the system quick. It takes a couple minutes to create a property website, upload your photos, and you've got it ready to go. And then, providing your agent with the best possible end result and a good user experience for the agent as well. And we get a lot of feedback from photographers that their agents actually really love using the system because it's easy to figure out. They don't have to, spend time learning a new platform or technology. It's really straightforward. It only takes, a couple of minutes to figure out what's going on and learn how to use the system. So, really that ease of use is what we focus on, and then also, the end result, the final product being the best available out there. So.
Terrific. Before I double check with our virtual studio audience to see if they have questions, please in the chat window, if you'd like to join us and be on screen and ask your questions of Mike directly, just please send me a note and I'll move you from attendee to panel to move you into the TV studio. I think, Mike, my takeaway, for photographers, it's a really tough life out there. You have in real estate, every real estate agent is self-employed. Any money that you ask an agent for is coming out of their pocket. And I think what you're doing is enabling a photographer to have other products or services to be able to offer to their clients. So and some of that may be either as part of a bundle to differentiate the photographer from other photographers. You might have another Matterport service provider that is simply providing a link to a Matterport space, or that the Matterport photographer, can provide not only the Matterport space, or I'm probably not saying it well. Let me see if I would say it differently. You have a photographer that's delivering digital assets like photos and videos in a Matterport space and maybe aerial, but they're all being delivered as separate digital assets. That seems very tactical to me, as opposed to providing a marketing service that makes it super easy and super fast for an agent to provide all their digital assets in a beautifully presented way, so that it's all in one page. And whether and from Matterport or some other 3D tour platform, virtual tour platform, photos, videos, aerial, floor plans, maps. We talked a little bit about the property brochures. I want to come back to that in a moment, but I think what you've done is enabled the photographer to really provide a turnkey solution that makes it easy for the agent. But I think the other piece here is I would say that probably many of the We Get Around Network Forum community aren't necessarily doing a vanity URL, a 123 Main Street, and even the thought of maybe going off to GoDaddy to order that can be a little bit it's a little bit extra tech, and you got to do the redirect, and you got to understand what that process is within GoDaddy. I think it's really cool that with your new payment engine that's coming, that the photographer could offer a vanity URL that the agent could buy. And I know we have the guide to Matterport service provider pricing. It's the deep links to about 100 Matterport service providers. It's actually a free membership benefit simply for joining the We Get Around Network Forum. But I think when you click through all these links and you realize, oh my gosh, I'm just charging for Matterport. Here are other photographers that are charging $49 for a vanity URL. Here are photographers that are charging $199 for floor plans. Here are photographers that are charging I'm trying to think of some of the other a la carte services. I don't mean things like I guess what I'm trying to say is in your platform, that we can go out and make a pitch to a client and say, look, it includes photos, video, Matterport. It's delivered in a nice package. I'm done. But my upsell is to be able to say, when I deliver that, would you like a brochure with that? $249. Never mentioned it to the client on the pitch. Didn't want to, because the client is just thinking, what is the least amount of money that I can possibly spend and feel like I've checked the box? Okay, well, let's show the client now the brochure that we just created, and be able to say to the client, by the way, when you use this tool for your existing listing, you'll be able to show your next potential client in your listing presentation how you deliver all these things, including this, nicely designed brochure, and that there's this vanity URL. And so I think the direction you're heading and enables all this upsell of all these other services. I think, shortly before the broadcast, I think one of the photographers, posted in the community and said, gosh, I'm so busy. If there's a solution that enabled me to do one click, to order a brochure, that's huge added value for the client. So I don't necessarily need to make the money on the Matterport Spaces 3D tour. If I can upsell after the fact to add a $249 brochure and maybe a $49 video that's automatically generated by Matterport, and maybe offer the vanity URL for $49, then all of a sudden, even just in that example, I have $300 of more money that I can sell to somebody as an upsell. And I may still decide that I'm going to gift it to the client on the first project, but let them know going forward that brochure is $149 or $199 or whatever it is, and that the single property website, easy to order, $49. And these are all things that don't take the photographer any time because of your platform. You created a platform for single property websites, but RELA has enabled it for the photographer to make it super easy and super fast to order something that a lot of agents would want to buy, that doesn't take any time for the photographer, either if they're using your templates, or they at least come up with the style that they're happy with for a particular agent. They're pressing a button and delivering it, and they're making a lot of money on these optional extras. So that's kind of some of my takeaway on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Going back to that, really, again, streamlining the workflow for you, right? And so everything that you just mentioned, you go shoot your photos, you go shoot your Matterport, you upload them, you create the website in a couple of minutes. And, maybe right now you don't have time to go create a custom brochure and download a program that you can do it and deliver it and see if the agent wants it. But really, with the oncoming features that we have with the payments and the upgraded brochures, that fits into that streamlined workflow. So you've just created the property website, you click create brochure, you choose the template, and that's done. And then you create an invoice, and you can charge them for that, or you can upsell them on it, or like you said, you can offer it for free on this one. And if they're really excited about it going forward, then you've got that new revenue stream coming in from that client. And so again, I like what you said, and just in terms of being able to provide all of the the marketing assets, digital assets that agents really need at the end of the day to market the property, right? And they look good, their clients are happy, and that's all because of what you provided to that agent.
Yes, but I also think sometimes as photographers, and we're not necessarily salespeople or business development people, we enjoy our art, we enjoy what we're doing, and the tendency may be to walk into a client and say, I can do photo, video, aerial, drone, brochure, painted rocks, virtual tour, virtual twilight, virtual staging, etc. I think what you've done is enable us to say, okay, for some clients, that's going to be perfectly fine. They want everything. But I would say, what is the minimum amount of effort that I can exert to get to yes with a client? And if all I need to do is to say, I'm going to create this Matterport stuff for you. We get inquiries all the time for across the United States and around the globe. And, they don't send us, an inbound inquiry that say, I want a single property website with that. And I want photos and I want videos. No, they're just saying, hey, I'd like to get that that Matterhorn thing. I mean, that actually comes in. I want to get that Matterhorn thing, or they send me an email or whatever, come in through our We Get Around network, find a Matterport Pro website, and it'll come in. I'd like one of those videos, and I got to think in my mind, oh, they see Matterport as a video. That's what they're asking about. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, you as a photographer, not you, Mike, but my the audience of WGAN-TV is like, okay, the client has just asked for a Matterport, and you've agreed on a price, and that may be a really low ball price. And I think of it as being like a loss leader, in a grocery store. If you went to a grocery store on Super Bowl Sunday, what you saw was avocados and chips at a de minimis amount of money, because that was what was bringing you into the store. Was, I need avocado, I need dip, for the Super Bowl. So I just don't know how to say this, but that for a Matterport photographer who makes a sale on Matterport, RELA enables you to sell 10 other things in that same conversation with the agent when you're delivering it. And so whether you agree to 1, 3, or 5 deliverables, the point is you can deliver everything through your platform. And the fact that you're so close to having a robust one sheet brochure generator, that's super exciting. And then I think you're not all that far away from having a robust payment engine, so that all these individual things can be upsold. So I think as a photographer, sometimes, Matterport photographers, we're always thinking, oh gosh, everybody's charging so little for this stuff. Give it to them for free. Go give them the Matterport space for free, and go make your money on the single property website, the video that you create from it, the brochure that you create for it, and everything else. So there's ways to either bundle or upsell. I love that the RELA platform is coming with a payment engine to enable that to be easy, fast, and simple to sell other stuff, just by making it easy for the client. And me personally, I would say, there's a lot of stuff like a Chinese restaurant where the extra vegetables come, and the orange comes at, the dessert, or the fortune cookie, the brochure is not even costing you anything. So, give away that first one and say, oh, by the way, use this to help you get in your next listing presentation, to help you win more listings, to win more and bigger listings, premium listings, win more and bigger premium listings more often. And then I'm very excited about the platform. And then I think the third thing that I'm hearing is that you have a migration path. So when you start talking about perhaps, by the end of June, maybe sneaking into third quarter 2018, that the photographer will be able to have a white label their brand in of a embeddable booking engine. I guess that's what I would call it, a booking engine embedded into their website, to make it really easy for a client to book them. RELA is really in a much bigger space than creating single property websites and brochures. And oh, by the way, we haven't talked about statistics, and I know at least one photographer had reached out. We got to cover this topic. What is it that RELA can do today, or may be doing in terms of statistics?
Statistics for
how many people? I'm a real estate agent. I want to know, how many times did people look at my single property website? I think you were starting, maybe we were going back to the code where it was the pixel code and of things that were populated. But I think you used to have some reports that are automatically generated for the photographer and for agents.
Yeah, we do. I have it up on the dashboard. Should I share the screen?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay. Let's see. So,
incidentally, while Mike's looking at that, Mike is a premium member of the We Get Around Network Forum. You can reach him at Mike Land, Mikeland, Mike Land, if you have any questions. I'm sure Mike will post some of the discussions in the We Get Around Network Forum. If you just ask a question there in the We Get Around Network Forum, in a couple of the posts that are headlined with RELA on it, look for Mike's reply. You ready to share your screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, to touch on the stats and the analytics, we do provide out of the box, without any special tracking codes that you add, analytics that show who's visiting the website, how many visits per day, what locations the visitors are in, the websites that are referring business to or referring visitors to the single property site. So if it's coming from Zillow or Facebook or wherever else, you can see that, the new versus returning. And so you can filter this down to the day that it was published first, and then on any date range.
Now this is provided that the agent or the photographer adds the tracking dot information.
No, this is standard. This is default with every property. You get this without having to add any special codes or your own tracking information. This is what we provide you. What we looked at on the advanced section earlier is if you have your own tracking codes or pixels that you're using in another platform, you can add those as well.
And does the agent have access to see their statistics online in real time like we're doing?
Yeah, so the agent will have access. This is the dashboard that the agent sees when they're looking at a particular property.
And is there an automatic report that's emailed, that can be emailed?
There is. So you can set automatic email reports to go out at any frequency that you want. So if you want them daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, you can do that. And then you can set it to any number of recipients here. The agent can edit this too. So if they wanted to, keep sellers informed and things like that, they can do that. You can put a list of emails in there that receive that, or you can send it on demand. So if you wanted to send it right now, you could click that button and send it, and that'll send out in a nicely formatted email report with the agent's information, the listing agent's information. And let's pull one up here so you can see what that looks like. But a nice formatted HTML email.
Does it say RELA on it?
Does not say RELA on it. It's all white labeled. So
that could say We Get Around Atlanta, the We Get Around logo. There's no reference to RELA.
Right. There's zero reference to RELA.
Okay.
And so this is what that email will look like. So you got your property photo, information here, how many people have visited in the last 30 days in all time. And then basically everything that we saw in that chart there.
And so do I have a choice to brand that with the agent info so that the agent can send that on to the homeowner?
Yeah, so this is branded with the agent info here. So
okay, so if I want as a photographer, we could put our name on it. If we choose not to, that's fine too. We could put the agent info. We have
correct.
a choice. We have a choice.
Yeah, you have a choice to do that. So.
Okay, Mike. Before I wrap up, is there anything else that you wanted to? Let's take us off screen share. Thank you. That was awesome. And just up here for the screen share to come off. Is anything else that you wanted to chat about?
No, I think we covered most of it. I mean, again, the whole focus really is what you described, where you're shooting Matterport or shooting photos, and you upload those assets, and now all of a sudden with RELA, you've got a bunch of different things that you can go now sell without really any extra effort. It's all kind of there now, and you can sell those a la carte, or just include it as a part of your base package. And a lot of photographers on our platform do that. They don't upcharge too much for what they provide from RELA to the agent, but what it does is it keeps repeat business coming in and keeps that flow of referrals coming in, because the photographer down the street is just simply sending a Dropbox link
or they're just sending a Matterport link. So this is really, really important. That if you're competing with a ton of new Matterport photographers, and the Matterport photographer is only delivering a Matterport link, you're delivering a turnkey solution that's branded with your client's info that they can share. They can go into a listing presentation with all this stuff and win more and bigger premium listings and pay you more money. And now you're not competing on price on a strictly of shooting Matterport.
Right.
Yeah. So if you've missed any thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. It's great to be on.
Thank you. So if you've missed any portion of today's program, we've been recording it. We'll put it in the We Get Around Network Forum by tomorrow, Friday, February 9th, 2018. If you are a We Get Around Network Forum member and you'd like a 14-day free trial of the photography as a photographer for on the RELA platform, comes with 6 credits. That means 6 free single property websites to play around with. Just send me a private message, put in the headline something like "We Get Around RELA 14-day free trial offer," and I'll send you back the info to do that. If you're watching this program after February 9th, 2018, and you're not a member of the We Get Around Network Forum, simply join the We Get Around Network Forum. You automatically receive a welcome email from me about 15 membership benefits, and we'll add this membership benefit of the 14-day free trial as part of that automatic email that we send out to you. We've been visiting with RELA CEO Mike Land on the west coast of the United States, talking about, I said RELA single property websites, one-click brochures, but that I think actually does you a disservice, because there's so much more in your platform, and the fact that it's cloud-based, I don't need to download any software. That's a huge win, and you got an amazing roadmap of where you are today and where you're going. So thanks again, Mike.
Yeah, thanks again for having us on.
Yeah, you bet. I'm Dan Smigrod, and you've been watching WGAN-TV live at 5 from Atlanta and from the West Coast. Okay, great. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks,
and thank you to your team. I'm sure they're in the background probably passing you a couple notes too.
Yeah, they are.
They are. Okay, thank you. Good to see you.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.